Try this one more time. From the top. Yeah, don't care. Greetings there, this is J to the B to the J to the Blaze! With a game that's just turned 5 years old. I'd seen it when it originally came out, June 17th. I was curious. But finally, it's gone from having my curiosity to my attention. In association with the Sakai project, for once is not a game with anime girls with oversized boobs. Smoke thief. Oh yes. Makes sense. The music ends. The cassette clicks to a stop. I've listened to it so many times, I've even memorized the placement of the static from the song's original broadcasts. I'm worried the deck might eventually eat the tape, but it never happened to him no matter how many times he played the damn thing, so I'm not too scared. It used to drive me crazy. Drive. I see where it's going with this. Every day he played it over and over again. Sure, he would throw on something different after a few loops, but soon enough he'd switch it back and the cycle would repeat itself. Sometimes I think he would do it just to mess with me. I would be in the back, in bed, smothering a pillow over my head to block out the music. He would just turn it up louder, even during all-nighters. That was so like him. Even near the end, when we had to finally settle down, he was still pulling that kind of crap. I'd come home from school sometimes and the police would be at the door, because the entire block had called in a noise complaint. He said it was because he was hard of hearing, but I know he did it just to get a rise out of the old grouches who lived nearby. I think that was his worst fear, ending up just another bitter sack of bones. So he did everything in his power to be the exact opposite, right up until the end. Of course, that meant I always had to deal with the fallout. I can't imagine what the neighbors thought, seeing a little girl go door to door, apologizing because some old man decided it would be funny to put plastic flamingos all over their award-winning lawns. I can't help but smile, just a little, even if it does hurt. Okay, so let's see here. Preferences. Voice sustain. Voice emphasis. Okay, gotcha. So there is going to be voiceover, which there originally wasn't, from what I learned. I take a sip of my coffee. Outside, a heat haze shimmers over the never-ending oceans of sand. So much desert. Even Roswell was just rock, sand, and a few shacks. All alien-themed, of course. Didn't see any UFOs, though. I'm not used to how dry everything is, even with the AC on high enough to rip off my eyebrows. I'm still sweat. Guess that's what happens when you laze around in snowy Colorado for a decade. In that regard, the desert is a nice change of scenery. Don't exactly hate it. New sights are nice, especially since his health didn't allow him to do a lot of traveling when I was a little girl. I can see myself getting used to this. Could you now? What up? I will not be overpowered. No way, no how. Well, maybe in another 15 years? Oops, wait. No, that's not an I. Greetings from Chihuahuan Desert. Take a rest. When I have everything paid off. Damn it, Amber, snap out of it. You can worry about that later. This isn't your trip, so stop being so selfish. I push the eject button. I take the tape out and look it over, probably for the 20th time today. Years worth of brown stains and greasy fingerprints are smudged all over, making it feel grimy to the touch. It still works like a charm, though. There are more cassettes in the gloved compartment, mixture of mine and his. Mostly his. I should just play one of those and get it over with. Kinda like me getting this game and getting it over with. My hand gravitates towards the latch. It would be okay, right? No. I snatch my hand away from the latch and flip the tape over. Once again, I find myself staring. With a sigh, I stick it back into the deck. I reach towards the play button, taking another look to see if the road is still clear. Like always, it... Oh, okay, that's definitely a voice. Isn't... I slam on the brakes. There's shriek piercing my skull. A glance at my rear view mirror shows a girl cringing next to an ancient-looking car, covering her eyes as I screech down the road. Making a U-turn of dubious legality, I pull up in front of her car, killing the motorhome's engine. I hop out and shield my eyes from the blazing New Mexico sun. Only now do I realize how precious the AC really is. Albuquerque much? Doesn't take more than several steps before the girl comes bouncing up to me with a look of relief.
Oh my god, thank you, thank you, thank you! I was starting to think no one would ever stop.
With each word, she gets a little closer, until we are finally within touching distance of each other, her smiling face now filling my entire field of vision. Her bright auburn hair is done into a girlish side tail, glistening beneath specks of sweat. Standing out in the heat has made her round, pale cheeks a sun-kissed red, but she still looks put together, like the desert would sooner melt her than do any real damage to her looks. I almost feel embarrassed to be in front of someone who dresses so cute. Can't deny that girls call each other's outfits cute all the time and get away with it. So, her frilly green top and skirt putting my red t-shirt and khakis to shame. I'm so glad I know how to pronounce khakis. It's all brought together by one thing, though. Her eyes. Blue, vividly blue, deep and rich, complementing the traces of her musty perfume as she gets closer and closer. Shows he stinks. Too close, too close. I scramble back and cough, trying to hide any awkwardness. Yeah, that aged well.
No problem.
Okay, Amber's a lot less squeaky. What's she doing out here alone? Driving through? Hell, is she even alone? I peer off into the plains on the side of the road, half expecting a guy to pop up from his hiding place, now that some idiot has fallen for their trap. That idiot being me, of course. But much to my surprise, no one does. Instead, the girl continues to stare at me, smiling as she patiently waits for my response. I glance behind her, focusing on her car.
So what's the issue? Your car breakdown?
I don't hear the car. Must be.
I think so, yeah. I was driving and I just kind of...
Stop.
Yeah.
She lowers her head in shame, eyes fixated on her feet, kicking the dust around her.
I'm not much of a car buff, but I can take a look at it.
Sure, you'll take a look at the car. Sounds like lies. Am I right? Her head pops back up, and life returns to her eyes.
Oh, wow! Could you?
She's definitely the voice of the typical overexcited anime girl.
Yeah. Can't promise that I can do anything, but I can at least check it out.
She almost sounds like Amber that is Cora, maybe?
That'd be great.
Alright, first things first then.
Yeah. That's, I think, where it's striking. This thing looks even older than my motorhome. It was probably a nice car once upon a time, but with a dented grille, multiple scratches, and faded murky green color, like girl is wearing. It's hard to believe such a cute girl is driving it. Little sexism. Or judgment otherwise. I slide into the fabric seat and start the ignition. I don't know too much about how this stuff works, just enough to keep the motorhome from living out, but I can't imagine it's too significant of an issue. Probably just a dead battery or... Why is she upping up? No gas. Single car passes by, filling us with refreshing gusts of wind, sprinkled with dirt and sand.
Is something wrong?
I think you both got dusted. Kind of like, you know, when vehicles go through puddles and splash people on the sidewalk. Is this a joke?
Oh no, did I break it?
Yeah,
No, it's just out of gas.
technically. Gas gauge match.
What? No way! Dad said I should have filled up before I left.
I totally do not run into this issue. Totally. Is she for real? Why is this girl in the middle of nowhere by herself? As if trying to force all the ideas into the center of her brain, the girl grabs her head and whines under her breath.
Ah, man, and I didn't charge my phone either. What am I gonna do?
I'd offer her mine, but I've never had a cell phone in my life. I thought she was going to go with, I don't trust this straggler with my phone. She might have a knife. We just got a knife! Seems like you'd have to be pretty absent-minded to forget that, though. She whines more and once more, and it turns to me.
Hey, this might seem a little weird.
She's gonna become a hitchhiker. Oh no.
But could you take me somewhere nearby so I can get some gas?
Let me guess, Amber's got a What do you know? She actually did it.
How long did you say you've been stuck out here?
I don't know. A few hours, maybe? I've been trying to wave down everyone who drives by, but you were the first to stop.
Hold on, everyone?
Yep.
This heat must have fried her brain. Did she have any idea how dangerous that is?
That's probably not a good idea, you know.
She cocks her head to the side and gives me a look of genuine curiosity. Like it wasn't obvious or something.
Huh? Why?
Well, you know. A cute young girl alone in the middle of the desert? It's just asking for trouble.
That's true. That's true. Cute girls could be at risk of being picked up by
But you're a cute young girl alone in the middle of a desert.
strangers.
What?
Her comeback takes me off guard. I'm avoiding eye contact.
Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, she's not the one who's out of gas. Smile returns to her face, the same bright one that she showed me when I first pulled over. I'm still avoiding eye contact, but she leans over to the direction I'm looking and continues to smile.
So, do you think you can give me a ride?
I don't know.
Please! It shouldn't take very long.
Oh, you keep right-clicking. Long. This girl, she didn't even listen to what I said. Oh, crap, before I forget... There is an achievement somewhere. Where's that? Oh. Still, better me than some psycho. Besides, it's not like a small detour will make me late or anything.
I guess it's fine. I'm not in too big of a rush anyway.
Before I'm even finished, she's springing off the ground, bouncing to the motorhome.
Hey, wait!
But it's already far too late, as she's somehow made her way into the motorhome before its owner even finding the time to give me a small way from the passenger seat. Sounds like a self-driving motorhome, almost. Except for the part where she took shotgun instead of the driver's seat. I heave a heavy sigh, rubbing my temple as I climb back into the driver's seat. The key is still dangling in the ignition. I wrench it around and the motorhome roars to life, forcing a surprised squeak out of the girl.
By the way, my name is Marina. Thank you so much for helping me out.
Well, I guess she's no longer girl.
Amber, don't mention it.
Like every other game, where it only takes a moment to find out the unnamed character's name. Like another game where the name is revealed as Abby before her being named as woman. The Last of Us Part 2. Careful not to hit her car, I back the RV up and turn it around, sending us in my original direction. She did hook up her car, right? I reach for the play button on the cassette player, finally giving in to temptation, but Marina starts up again.
Why aren't we going the other way? Wasn't there a station a little ways back?
It was more than a little ways back. I saw a sign a few miles ago that said there was a station not too far from here, so we're going there.
Oh wow, I didn't even see that. You're really observant.
Amber doesn't sound very enthused. Yeah, or you're just really oblivious. Yep, I guess that makes sense.
Not really.
Silence falls between us, the roaring of the engine and swishing of the wind from outside being the only sounds. I take that as my cue and reach for the cassette player once more, finally give...
How do you even drive this thing? It's huge!
Marina spreads her arms out like an eagle, unfurling its wings, almost bopping me on the head in the process. I clear my throat and grab her arm from the air, gently placing it on her lap.
It's not that bad. You get used to it.
She tilts her head to the side and gives a light grunt as if saying, "That's so," and we return to the silence of before. Again, I reach for the cassette plate.
So what are you doing out here? Are you going camping? Seems like what you're doing is fun.
I take a deep breath and hold it on as long as possible before letting it out.
Just traveling. Just traveling.
Well,
What about you? Why are you out here?
Oh, well, it's kinda silly.
She scratches her head and lets out an embarrassed laugh before staring at her feet. She quiets down and surprisingly stays quiet. Well, looks like that worked. I reach for the cassette player one last time. I stop for a moment to look at the glove compartment and then Marina, who looks lost in thought. Finally, I press play. Ooh, that's a neat transition. A pleasant little chime greets me as I enter the station, Marina trailing closely behind. The drive was quiet after I turned the music on. Turning the tables on her and asking what she was doing out there seemed to throw her off. I didn't mean to come off as cold as I did. It's just been ages since I've had a conversation beyond accepting some half-hearted condolences. Though, to be fair, I haven't really wanted to hold one. The guy behind the counter is busy ringing someone up, so I set out in search of a gas can. The store is one of those big mini-mart places, made specifically for travelers. It's surprisingly clean for a place surrounded by sand. Every corner has an unnatural, sanitary shine, accompanied by the scent of citrus cleaning product.
Hey, they have cola flavor here!
I turn and find Marina clutching the slushy machine, her eyes widening like a cat's when tempted with yarn.
Don't most gas stations have it?
She shakes her head, but doesn't take her eyes off the machine.
All the places back home only had cherry and raspberry. When we got sick of them, we just had to mix them together.
Not gonna lie, once she lowers her pitch, Marina sounds more natural.
But...
What's the but? Marina finally turns to me, wearing a face of pure, concentrated sadness.
I left my wallet in the car.
My car? Oh, right. That should work. Holy crap, how do I take screenshots again? I think I'll quick save here, or maybe just do an actual save right in spot number 2. Just because I want to save that for sharing with Studio Ela. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Just looking at her. Can feel my heart break. Wait a second.
How were you expecting to pay for the gas?
Yeah, this is too expensive anymore. I mean, yeah, this is too expensive anymore. Out of character.
I don't know. I just remembered.
How did she last 5 minutes out in the desert?
Fine, I guess I'll pay for it.
Really?
Yeah. And grab yourself one of those slushies too. But make it a small one.
Her pure, concentrated sadness melts into a pure, concentrated happiness.
You're the best, Amber.
Check this item out in the gallery. I can't find the gallery from here. I did get this into the gallery, obviously. Title? Oh. Nah, not yet. Probably from the main menu. She grabs a cup and holds down the button until the slushy overflows and drips down the side. I was going to pay for the gas anyway, but I'm hoping the drink makes up for the drive over. I spot the gas cans, and with Marina happily sipping her drink, grab one and head for the counter. The guy at the register is still ringing up the same girl. Lines of flimsy plastic bags line the counter, filled with a mixture of off-brand junk food and gardening tools. She scans the items as the girl digs through her wallet, her bandana-wrapped head pressing a phone against her shoulder. Wrapped head pressing the phone against her. Oh, duh. A little bit like... No, that would be like that. Yeah. Just like how my mother does it. And how I have tried doing it. And then just find it uncomfortable.
Aren't you supposed to be the badass mechanic? What good are you if you're not?
Ooh, bandana girl grouchy. She swipes out a card and hands it to the cashier, more interested in staring at her nails and looking at me.
How the hell would I know? Have the squirt tech underneath if you're so curious.
On the other end of the line, I can hear the faintest squabbling. I can't make out anything they're saying, but the tone sounds worlds more tolerable than the girl's.
If it's that old, then I say do it. Cash is cash. It's not like anyone's gonna care. Better not take as long as last time, though. I'll be waiting for you slackers outside.
The girl slips her phone back into the crevices of her dangerously unzipped jumpsuit. Little clothes she has on underneath. Looks like it's going to burst from the slightest move. Sounds like it's tight as the Flash's clothing does. Not my type, especially that personality. It's hard for me to do anything other than stare. Don't know how I read that as satire at first. The attendant reaches out to help with the bags, but the girl snaps them away before he can. She shoots him with a heated glare that burns straight through the man and into the wall behind him. Turning around, the girl looks at us for a second before rolling her eyes, then marches out the door, the bags weighing her down as they nearly scrape the ground. Yeah, definitely not my type.
Good luck.
The attendant has the right sense here. The right tude. Marina and I set the can and nearly empty slushy on the counter.
Will that be all?
Yeah, sorry for more boring than that other girl.
The attendant hacks out a dry cackle and scans the gas can. He flicks his oily ponytail behind his shoulder, then rings up Marina's drink.
Been a lot of folks passing through and stocking up the past few days. It's been a good change of pace. I'm guessing that's why you girls are here too.
Good to hear. Marina eases in towards the counter, nudging herself tightly between me and a rack, her hands creeping over to the slushie.
For what? I'm just heading out to California.
Oh. I don't end up driving myself insane first.
You mean you don't know?
The attendant freezes, forgetting about the scanner in his hand. Blinding red light beams from it onto my chest.
About what?
Why, the treasure.
Ooh. Marina's hand stopped just shy of grabbing the cup.
Treasure?
The clerk's chubby face morphs into a grin.
You telling me that you girls haven't heard of the treasure in the journal?
I have.
She has. That must have maybe been what she was looking for. I frown. Embarrassed, Marina looks at the floor again, her cheeks flushing red. I guess she's always just this forward.
Oh, well, I heard about it on the news.
Call me nitpicky, but that's another subtitle missing. Just saying. Just saying.
It's kind of why I drove down here.
Thought so.
You drove out into the middle of the desert for treasure?
Yeah, treasure.
Sorry, but you've lost me.
Oof.
Not just any treasure, Missy. The miner's treasure.
Treasure. He says it like that should clarify what he meant. I stare at him. He stares back. Marina sips the last dregs of her slushie.
You honestly don't know.
Not a clue. Are you gonna change that?
A little feisty, ain't you?
Not really. Just have stuff to do.
Fair enough. A little while back, some folks were going through all the trash in their garage. As fate would have it, they came across an old journal. Turns out the thing belonged to their great-uncle. Or maybe it was their great-grandfather. I don't know. Some dead old man.
I cut him off with a cough, a polite hint for him to get on with it, or quit his yammering. Despite apparently knowing all this, Marina continues to stay focused with rapt attention. Sometimes her drink makes that annoying slurping sound again.
Sorry. I'll try keeping it short.
Alright, bub.
Anyway, after flipping through it, they found out that he'd struck it rich during the gold rush.
If he struck it rich, then wouldn't the family know about it? They'd have to be pretty well off, right?
Oh, I can answer that.
Can she?
He went back home to Missouri without any gold and told all his friends he hid it.
By now, the slushie is all gone. Marina tries for one last sip, but all that's sucked through the straw is air. She peers down into the cup and blows a small sigh.
No one believed him, though.
I raise an eyebrow. If even this girl knows about it, then I must be more out of the loop than I thought. I get the feeling.
Well now, looks like Sister here has been doing her research.
And I will be back later. This is where I'm going to leave things off for tonight. Because I've got some things on the side to pick up on.
Well now, looks like Sister here has been doing her research.
Okay, leave it at that. Yep. Oh! So then the screenshots did work after all. Huh. Apparently a lot of them. Well, without any further ado, thank you for watching. Let's keep it on the highway. This has been J to the B to the J to the Blaze. Don't have a good night. Have a great night. God bless. Live long and prosper. Boopity boppity bye. Boop. Good chunk. Now make my way up here. Stupid. Okay. Like a wizard. Hey. Subscribing for the first time.